Hey everybody, Steve here from the channel Legalize Freedom. I don't know if anybody's aware of this. I'm sure a lot of you know about it. Sorry, I'm trying to get the volume turned up here. Anyway, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but the fact is, in Paterson, New Jersey, 7 cops pleaded guilty in the last year or so. This article was published on October 1st, but it says here, a Paterson police officer pleaded guilty to federal corruption charges on Tuesday, the 7th cop to admit to crimes that include traffic stop shakedowns, drug dealing, and hitting a man while the man was chained to a hospital bed. Now this, I'm going to cut in here real quick. This was done, an investigation by the FBI, and this needs to, people need to know, especially the police need to know that the FBI is not putting up with this. They're going to start investigating a lot more departments. So I'm just, you better get your shit together, cops, because people ain't putting up with this anymore. Anyway, in a federal court in Newark, Daniel Pent admitted to joining a crew of 5 road cops in a conspiracy that allegedly started in late 2016 and continued until 2018. Pent also admitted to crimes that included excessive force. While Pent was the fourth officer to be arrested in the FBI probe into the city police department, he is the latest to plead guilty to charges. All 7 officers that have been charged with crimes have pleaded guilty, with some already serving prison sentences. So that's nice to know that these guys are actually being held accountable. Somewhat. I don't think they're doing near as much time as if one of us did something like this. But okay, so here's who they are. First guy is Jonathan Bastillos. In December 2018, Jonathan Bastillos admitted that he and other police officers singled out motorists they believed were carrying large amounts of money and then shook them down for cash. Imagine that. During this guilty plea in federal court, Bastillos said the illegal stop started in 2016 and continued until 2018. At the time of his arrest in April 2018, federal authorities had revealed only crimes that took place in 2018. In his guilty plea, Bastillos also implicated Paterson police officer Yudy Ramos and others for participating in the conspiracy with him. Ramos had already been arrested in the case, but authorities had not accused any other cops of making the illegal stops. Bastillos was the 3rd Paterson cop to plead guilty in the FBI probe. His plea was the first public indication that additional officers might have engaged in crimes. And there is Jonathan Bastillos right there. Former Paterson police officer Jonathan Bastillos pleaded guilty to charges of extortion and conspiracy to deprive individuals of their human rights in the federal courthouse in Newark on Tuesday, December 18th, 2018. Okay, the next guy here is Ruben McCausland. In June 2018, in federal court in Newark, Paterson police officer Ruben McCausland admitted he stole heroin, cocaine, crack, and marijuana from crime scenes while he was in uniform and on duty in 2017. He also admitted that he later sold the drugs. Imagine that. McCausland also admitted that in 2017 he pushed, punched, and struck a suicidal patient while the victim was in a wheelchair and lying on a bed in a Paterson hospital. He said he then tried to cover it up by filing a false police report. What a guy. What a nice guy, huh? This is happening all over the place. These guys just happen to get caught. He pleaded guilty to one drug dealing offense and conspiracy to violate the hospital patient's civil rights. Crimes that carry a total maximum prison sentence of 50 years and a minimum of 5. Well, let's just take a guess and say that he probably got 5. Former Patterson police officer Reuben McCausland on the right with his attorney. There he is. John Whipple was sentenced to 66 months in prison. 66 months. That's 5 years. Drug deals he conducted in 2017 and 2018, sometimes while on duty in uniform and in his police patrol vehicle. McCausland leaves the federal courthouse in Newark on Wednesday, March 27, 2019, after being sentenced. Yeah, he looks real worried about it. Okay. Did I get this far yet? I'm sorry. I'm kind of... Okay, and a minimum 5. So yeah, right here it says, in March, U.S. District Judge William Walls sentenced McCausland to 66 months, more than 5 years, in prison for dealing drugs and assaulting the hospital patient. During the sentencing, Walls called McCausland a street hustler. McCausland was the first Patterson police officer convicted in the FBI probe and was in the same police academy class as Daniel Pent and Ramos, 2 of the other police officers arrested in the probe. He is currently in prison serving his sentence. And there's a picture of Daniel Pent right there. And on Tuesday, Pent pleaded guilty to federal corruption charges, including illegal traffic stop shakedowns as part of a crew of rogue cops. In late March, Pent was arrested at Patterson Police Headquarters. He was the 6th Patterson cop charged with crimes in the federal investigation. Pent was hired by the Patterson Department in January 2014. He was in the same police academy class as McCausland and Ramos, 2 of the other police officers arrested and who have pleaded guilty in the probe. There's Patterson police officer Daniel Pent leaves the federal courthouse in Newark on Tuesday, March 16, 2019. Pent was charged with conspiring to deprive individuals of civil rights. Imagine the cops don't do that, do they? That's crazy. Okay, so in one instance in February 2017, Pent and Ramos took $10,000 from a front seat passenger whom they charged with loitering in a drug area, and then filed police official reports that said the victim was carrying just $36 according to the court records. Pent and Ramos had told the victim they would charge him with heroin offense if he tried to claim the lost money, the records say. My gosh. See, this is what we're talking about here. The FBI is investigating you guys, you rogue cops. Think you're getting away with stuff. Ain't gonna happen. We're coming for you. The FBI is coming for you. And us citizens are coming for you too. So, anyway, let's go on. Udi Ramos, however you pronounce that. Last month, Ramos admitted in federal court to stealing money from illegally stopped motorists and using excessive force on people he encountered on the city streets. Ramos was the 6th cop to plead guilty in the probe, admitting to taking $14,600 from people in 5 separate incidents from February 2017 through February 2018. Ramos' crimes had been made public during guilty pleas by other officers. In April, Ramos was arrested by the FBI and was later indicted on 9 counts of civil rights crimes in the probe. Ramos admitted to conspiring with 4 other Patterson police officers, including Bustos and Matthew Torres, to target vehicles for illegal stops and searches and taking occupants' money. He was in the same police academy class as Pent and McCausland. And there's a picture of him right there, former Patterson police officer Udi Ramos. Leaves the federal court on Wednesday, March 27, 2019. Ramos is charged with civil rights violations for allegedly conducting illegal traffic stops and taking money from the occupants of the vehicles. Oh, wow, imagine that. Here's another guy, Roger Then. Well then, in May 2018, Roger Then was arrested by the FBI in connection with the beating of a suicidal hospital patient while the victim was in a wheelchair and in a hospital bed. The next month, McCausland said that Then, his former partner, also participated in the hospital assault and cover-up. Then was accused of making a video recording of the beating, which was allegedly carried out by an unidentified city police officer, according to a federal affidavit establishing probable cause for Then's arrest. The officer alleged attack injured the victim's face, and he needed eye surgery as a result of the beating, federal authorities said. In April, then, he was sentenced to 6 months. Ooh, 6 months. Wow. Big deal. He is currently serving his sentence. Then was member of the police department since July 2016 and was the 4th Patterson police officer arrested by the FBI. Patterson police officer Roger Then, right there, leaves the federal courthouse with his wife after he was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment after he pled guilty to participating in an assault on a hospital patient last year. Well, isn't that nice that his wife decided to stick with him on that? Should probably take off on him. He's in the in jail, I'm sure, for 6 months. And then the next guy is Frank Toledo. In July, Frank Toledo pleaded guilty to also participating in illegal traffic stops and shakedowns. Standing in federal court in Newark, Toledo admitted joining with other rogue cops in a conspiracy that allegedly started in late 2016 and continued until 2018. He also admitted beating people he arrested in at least 2 instances. See, these are just a few of the cops that got caught doing all the stuff that they're doing across the nation, all over the world. They're out of control. During his guilty plea, Toledo admitted to sending a text message that framed his guilt. Everything we do is illegal, the text read, said Toledo. Everything we do is illegal. Okay, I believe that too. Toledo had been suspended for a brief time during the summer of 2018 as a result of the federal probe, but returned to work and had not faced criminal charges until July. There's Frank Toledo right there. He's seen in Patterson in city council chambers in July of 2014 as one of the 26 new police officers to take the oath of office administered by Mayor Jose Joey Torres. Taking his oath of office. What a guy. And the next guy is Matthew Torres. In May, Torres admitted in federal court he conspired with 4 other city cops to commit civil rights crimes by shaking down motorists for cash during illegal traffic stops. 3 of the officers named in Torres' guilty plea, Bastillos, Pent, and Ramos, had already been arrested, and Bastillos pleaded guilty December 2018. Federal authorities said Torres and other rogue officers used the code word mangoes to describe the money they illegally took from people. The crew of rogue cops sometimes used fake paperwork to trick their victims into believing that the cash seizures and vehicle stops represented legitimate law enforcement work, according to the United States Attorney's Office. Joe Canico of Patterson Press contributed to this article. Okay. There is Matthew Torres right there. He leaves federal court in Newark on Wednesday, December 19th, 2018. Matthew Torres was arrested Wednesday morning by federal agents and charged with participating in an illegal traffic stop in Patterson last December with Yudy Ramos, another accused officer, according to authorities. Now, I just wanted to bring everyone's attention to this because, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this is happening, as everybody knows, all across the nation. These are just 7 cops that got caught because of what? Because the FBI did an investigation on them. And I can assure you, they're going to be doing more because there's plenty of corrupt police departments across this nation. These guys are definitely not, something rare nowadays. So, be on the lookout, cops. You better start acting like human beings and treating people like human beings instead of treating us like garbage and ruining lives. It's time this changed, and it's going to, one way or another. Alright, well, everybody, thanks a lot for watching this. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment, whatever. But thanks again. I'll be back, probably in the next couple days, do another video. Later.